What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Matt and welcome to Downshift. Today I am here with a two-door version of a four-door car that already had a two-door version. However, there's one big difference with this one, and that's wearing the letter M. This is the BMW M4.
The M4 is essentially an M3 that had a rough breakup, discovered the gym, and now has what the kids are calling revenge body. What this means is that the 4 Series gets a sexed up, sleeker, and more provocative look than the 3. Also, it's missing a couple doors. Only the most discerning eyes will detect the differences between the 3 and the 4 from straight on in the front, and we're looking at namely headlights and bumpers, but it's very, very subtle. Along the side here is where you're going to get aroused, but stay with me. Obviously, you'll note the lack of rear doors here, but I'll draw your attention to some of the best looking wheels in existence. These wheels signify that this M4 is the competition pack. They're actually all competition packs from 2020 on. These wheels debuted though on the M4 GTS, but later became available on the competition, and thank God, because nobody's got money for that water-cooled GTS. Round back we have typical M quad exhaust nestled in the subtle rear diffuser. There's actually a lot of aero going on from the front bumper and intakes to the wing mirrors, and even the trunk lid. This isn't to mention the carbon fiber roof keeping weight lower and the center of gravity low. All those cuts and grooves make the M4 slippery and sexy.
Now moving on to the interior, we can tell that this is a proper M car because it has a proper transmission.
6-speed, 3 pedals, rear wheel drive. That's a sports car DNA, so kudos to BMW for staying true. However, back to the cabin. This car is about 5 years old now, and not a whole lot has changed in the cabin over that time. I mean, it's fine. The M Sport steering wheel feels good, but it's not as good as the new one, and the gauges are classic BMW, which I appreciate. So overall, I'd say the interior is satisfactory. Nothing to write home about, but nothing offends me either.
Alright, so I've made you sit through the exterior walk around and the interior review, and now we're going to get a little bit more intimate with this M4. So when wearing the M badge, this car has certain responsibilities to its driver. M cars need to be light, they need to be quick and responsive, and they need to be able to handle and turn. This is the second largest point of contention with BMW purists. This electronic steering rack just lacks a little bit of the feedback that the hydraulic one gave you. So diehards are left with a little bit of a disappointment. The good news is the suspension keeps the car really tied down. There's lots of grip, and you can really throw it into a corner at good speeds and feel really comfortable with what you're doing. Now, most M cars are famous for their naturally aspirated screaming straight sixes. The previous M3 had a V8, which was a little bit of a variation, but it was still naturally aspirated so people could wrap their minds around it. This is the first time that there has been a forced induction power plant under the hood of an M3/4, I guess now. And it's got the M purists in a bit of an identity crisis. However, have you ever heard the phrase money talks and bullshit walks? That's basically what's going on here. So this 3-liter straight 6 turbocharged is going to make just about the same amount of power as the old E90 generation V8s, but the important thing is that torque is up over 100 pound-feet. And that makes this thing feel angry. There's so much power at any RPM that it basically feels like this thing just went into the bathroom, did a line of coke, and now is standing at the bar waiting for somebody to look at him funny so they can get in a fight. It makes for a really exciting driving experience, but not one that's without a little fear. So BMW is the ultimate driving machine, and their M cars should be an embodiment and personification of the height of what that can mean. However, it's that phrase entirely that leaves a little bit of ambiguity around this car. What I would say is this could be perceived as the ultimate performance machine, but when it comes to the ultimate driving machine and the act and the experience of that, it lacks a little bit of soul and a little bit of character that the older BMW M cars possessed. It's still a fantastic car, it's immensely capable, and it's a delight to drive, but it just misses a little bit of that personality. And with that, thank you so much for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. If you liked what you saw, go ahead and hit that thumbs up, leave a comment, hit that red subscribe button and the notification bell. That really, really helps me out, guys. So thank you so much for doing that. And thank you to all my followers and subscribers for making this channel possible. If you want to see more content, specifically more BMW content, go ahead and click one of these banners right here to see the M3 take on the M340 and the M340 take on the Genesis G70.
I remember when I lost my mind. There was something so pleasant about that place.